Hi Queens, my name is Tanya Russell and I am the founder of Tanya Russell PMU Academy in Roswell, Georgia, where I help empower women like you. How did I start and when did I start making $20K plus per month doing only PMU services? You heard that right. I'm also an instructor, but I'm not going to calculate that money into being an instructor, just solely PMU services, because that is where the big money is at. I've been in the PMU industry for about 6 years approximately, okay? So let's talk about how I started and how did I start making 20K plus a month doing only services. When I started, I had no experience in beauty. I would say a newbie in everything. I had no previous experience. I had just gotten my brows done. And when I started in PMU, I was not making a lot of money. My first year, I made maybe $1,000 a month, and that was extra income for me because I had a job. I was in the healthcare and I had a job, which is my full-time job. So I started doing PMU as a side business. I knew that I wanted to make it a full-time business, but I did not have the money to quit my job. At that moment, I was a single mom and I had bills to take care of. So I couldn't just quit my job and be like, yeah, let me just focus on PMU, which I would have loved to done that, but it was not in my possibilities. My first year, I was just working Saturday and Sunday, taking clients, and my full-time Monday through Friday. So my first year, I was making about $1,000 of income as a side business. Okay, after my first year, I decided to quit my job and I was gonna do PMU full time, and that was a scary jump. I call it a quantic leap if I said it correctly in English, but it was very scary because I had a few $1,000s saved up. Like I had saved up money to be able to quit my job and dedicate myself to PMU, taking clients as a full-time. And that was a scary experience because, like I said, I was a single mom. I didn't have a backup plan, and I had just saved enough money, to be honest, to open the business, not like 6 months and all that. But I'm a risk taker. I think that being in the business industry and being an entrepreneur, you have to learn how to take risks. And if you're not comfortable with risk, then really you should not go into having your own business, because literally everything is a risk. And then I'm a believer that a job is not secure. You don't have a secure job, because tomorrow your employer is like, you know what, I don't want you to work here anymore because X, Y, and Z, and they let you go. And I've had that. I've had students that come in from the Army, right? This is a government job, you would say, and they're let go just because they didn't have enough to pay them. And it's like, nothing is secure. So when you're talking about opening your business and you want something secure, like, what is it that you want? You want a secure check. I don't like security. I think that it's boring. I like to take risks. So let's go straight into it. Fast forward 4 years into the business, I decided that I want to learn how to market myself and I want to learn how to sell, because that's what really was missing in my business. I had been taking a lot of trainings on how to master my skill, which is excellent because you do need to master your skill, but I wasn't making the same focus on learning how to sell. And I think that that's a lot of newbies, a lot of new PMU artists, they lack in sales. They don't know how to sell a cookie. They don't know how to sell anything. So that's hard, because everything we do in life is selling, and if you can sell a service, you can sell anything. So learning how to position yourself, learning how to market yourself is super important. Once I learned that, I started getting my 10K. Okay, first it started with my 10K goal, which was like 4 years in the beauty industry. I know that you want me to say I made that within a year, but no, I did not. It took me 5 years to hit my 10K, and I'm not saying that that's not possible to do within your first year. If you know how to sell, you can make 10K in your first 6 months. Okay, and I also offer those trainings of marketing, how to sell, how to attract clients, because for me, in my opinion, learning how to sell is the same or even more important than mastering your art. Anything you do, you have to master it, but then also the sales is really important. So after 4 years, I was making 10K a month, and I felt that was not enough because, yeah, I'm making 10K a month, but I also have to pay ads. I do my own ads, but I was paying Facebook and Instagram ads. I have to take in calculation my rent, my studio rent, you know, internet and all that. So I'm like, I want to be making 20K a month. And then I'm like, what am I doing now what am I not doing now that I should be doing to start making 20K per month? It's like the questions that you have to start asking yourself. And that's when I was like, I have to invest more money into ads, and I have to get an assistant, because I was getting so many messages because my ads were working really well. So literally a day I was getting maybe sometimes like 40 messages. And even though that seems like it's not a lot of messages, when you have to reply to every message, and on top of that, everyone is asking a question, and then a question, if they're each asking like 4 or 5 questions, multiply 40 times 5. So I was getting a lot of messages, and I felt like I was getting overwhelmed. I'm not the person that likes to be on the phone all day just answering questions and answering, and I get a little annoyed if the person is asking me the same questions over and over. So I decided to hire an assistant, and now I had to make more money because now I have to pay an assistant as well. So that's how I started making 20K, is through learning how to sell, creating better ads, hiring an assistant, and having a plan. If you would like to start making 20K, I recommend that you start with learning how to sell. I have trainings that will teach you how to sell, because selling is everything. And I hope that you like this video. Let me know in the comments what other videos you would like me to do, and I will see you in the next video.